you had 4 albums on J Records. Then you went to RCA. And how many albums with RCA?
4. Yeah.
4 albums
I did
with
4
RCA.
albums with them. Yeah.
But then the RCA deal ended on a not too.
Nah, actually, it wasn't bad, man.
It wasn't?
I think a lot of
Okay.
people feel like it was bad. It wasn't bad. It was just a conversation of like creative differences, and then that was it.
Well, you said you had to leave 600 songs behind when you
Oh
left
yeah,
RCA.
yeah. I left. There's a lot of songs that they had. I can't remember the exact number, but
Okay.
yeah. But
A lot of songs.
yeah.
Okay. But it was still a happy kind of ending?
For me, it was because I knew it was a new chapter.
Okay.
You know, it's like I feel like growing as an artist and like building a new catalog and grow like like that's like growing new wings. You know what I'm saying? Like staying stagnant. There's songs that I can listen to from back in the day. I'm like, damn, I wish I would have put this out of it. But where I'm at now, man, I'm just really focusing on the future and focusing on where I'm at now. Like with the new single, Drowning Us Out, the new project, it just really shows so much growth and shows so much of where I am mentally.
Right. I mean, you had a joint album with Rico Love. Or did that not come out? Or
Nah, it never came out.
Never came out.
Yeah, that didn't
Okay.
come out.
And I guess there was word that you were going to sign to Scott Storch.
No.
That never happened either. That's just a rumor.
Nah, yeah.
No.
You know how people talk.
Yeah, the internet, man, undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you left the RCA deal and you decided to finally just go independent.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Okay.
Now, what's the big difference now that you're independent?
Creative control, definitely more responsibility. The hustle's a lot different, way more hands-on. You got to get your feet a lot dirty. Got to get your hands dirty. You know, you in the trenches. You know, but I think that it's more morally gratifying in some ways. And then there's not a lot of you don't have to play as much politics just in terms of the internal thing, and like there's less people that you have to depend on for your success, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have a deal with Empire.
Yeah, partnership with them.
Partnership with Empire, but your own label is called New Citizen.
New Citizen.
Why
yeah.
that name?
Yeah, that's a good question. So New Citizen represents just the understanding and the mindset of becoming a new citizen of your own personal 360, your own personal universe. And I became that as I started learning more about life. Like this, for me, this thing is so much bigger than just music now. There's a whole energy shift that's happening in our world, you know, and I hope that you get to this part of the interview faster because this is what really matters. But I feel like people need to understand the story, but I hope that this is a part that you highlight as well.
Yeah.
But there's a big shift happening right now, you know what I mean? And we are responsible for our lives and collectively the world that we live in, you know, and I think there's a lot of people that there's certain people that have the influence and the power and the internal light that can influence people in uninterrupted ways, if you will, if given the opportunity. And I feel like I'm one of those people. And it comes from a real place. There's no like smoke and mirrors. It's like, it's all authentic and it's all real. And you know, I want to use my music as a platform to continue to push that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And this is actually your first album in 10 years. Mm-hmm. Why such a long stretch in between the two?
It's crazy because when I think about it, it doesn't feel like that.
Right.
But
because you were dropping albums, like every year or two before?
Yeah, like every year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, just all that stuff that went on in between in the interim, you know, which causes like delays and not being in the right place. You know, when the stars align, they align. You know, and you know, there's nothing else to really be said to that. Yeah.
Well, and during that time, and this is, I think, what's important for people to know, is that when you're an artist and you create hit records, at some point in your career, you can continue to tour off those records. And you've been touring this whole time, all through Europe,
you know, absolutely.
all over the world, right?
Yeah, I'm touring every year, constantly touring. Yeah.
So you can. It's not like people think, well, he doesn't have a hit single out.
Yeah,
he must be broke, and it's like that's not the case at all.
Yeah, unless you're in the team or you work with artists, you won't really understand how that works. You know, obviously when you put out new music, numbers go up. touring, there's more to add to the touring history. Things are different, but like I said before at the beginning, when you have music that has had that type of impact, that's the blessing, man.
Yeah.
That's really the blessing,
Yeah.
So we back to it though, Dancing Shadows coming out soon, late fall. I'm excited about it. We'll definitely be touring around this album.
Right.
But just continue to add to the story.
Why the name of that album?
Dancing Shadows?
Yeah.
Well, I have a song on the album called Dancing Shadows, but I feel like that shadow work, for example, the act of actually illuminating your fears, illuminating your traumas, illuminating, things that may have happened in your youth, like illuminating these things is what I like to call shadow work. And being able to see them and transmute these traumas within us is what shadow work is. So Dancing Shadows is kind of like me taking my love for R&B, my understanding of where I'm at now, making it all a part of the awareness of the content in the album is what shadow work is. So that's why I call the album Dancing Shadows.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.